All right, Shalom. Salaki, I don't know if the audio is messed up from that. Let me just restart it. Lord willing, you can hear me. Shalom. First and foremost, before I begin this lesson, I want to say call hello, Yahweh Ba'Shem Al-Shai Ba'Shem B'Chah HaKodash. The honors go out to the apostles, elders, great millstone, rule and teach well. Shalom wa barakim to you brothers and sisters out there. Alright, this is Brother Malachi from the Great Millstone National Camp. And Lord willing, that this lesson is edifying to the hopeful elect. Alright, just a topic I wanted to go into, basically this spiritual war, spiritual battle, because that's what it is. Okay, it's spiritual. It's not a physical, carnal battle. Esau is a carnal man. His blessing was the physical sword, right? And it's not to say that Israelites, weren't experts with weapons of war, and it's not to say that Jake can't have a firearm, and it's not to say that, Jake don't like fighting and all that, like in season and when, learning martial art. It doesn't mean none of that, because all those are carnal things, and you can do those things. But that's not our blessing. We understand that our blessing is being spiritual. All right, this knowledge, having this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Ba'Shem Al-Shai puts us on a completely different level from these heathens. All right, but we are fighting in a spiritual war, all right, a spiritual battle. And actually, this war has been waging on since 1969, 1970, when Rabbi Abba Bivens was on the scene. All right, that's when it started, when John the Baptist, was here. Elijah the prophet, when he was here. And it goes on to this day. I almost said 1926. It is 2026. So what, 56, 57 years later? Like, come on, man. That's a big deal here. This is a long war. And we're finally at the end of this thing. So why give up now? There's no point in giving up. All right, for the etymology of war, it says difficulty, dispute, hostility, fight, combat, war. Is this not difficult? Right, this is known as the Strait Gate in Matthew, I believe the 7th chapter. Strait, meaning trials and difficulties. So let me go ahead and get this first. 2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse 18. Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things and hope for wide. For they that have done wickedly have suffered the straight things, and yet shall not see the wide. So we're going through these things because if we endure unto the end, like Yahushua said, if we hold on to our crown, we're going to be delivered. If we maintain our integrity, if we don't take the MOTB, the CHIP, or the RFID, NFC, CHIP, the Neuralink, we don't take none of that BS. We continue to stay faithful to Yahweh Ba'Shem Al-Shai, 10 toes down, then we'll receive the wide. We'll receive the kingdom of heaven. We'll be good. All right, but we just got to go through right now. Let me get this. This is Romans chapter 8 and verse 18 in the King James Version. It says, "For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us." Point blank, period. These things that we go through are very trivial compared to things that we're going to receive. We're talking about no more sin. We're talking about perfection. Okay, perfection, man. Being like Yahushua. All right, without even trying, because we're going to be programmed to be righteous. No more sin, no more death, no more crying, no more pain, no more anything bad. Can you imagine a life like that? You really can't. Like, it's very hard to visualize that. But that's what the Lord has promised us if we continue on this path, if we continue fighting this spiritual war. Okay, now let me get, because once again, this is a spiritual war. We're not taking up arms, right? We're not doing no nefarious things. We're just teaching the Bible, praying, fasting to Yahweh Ba'Shem Al-Shai, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, the holy days to the best of our ability. Okay? So let me get a few more here. This is Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." All right, so we wrestle not against flesh and blood. Right? Once again, this is a spiritual battle. Okay? 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 3 to 4, it says, "For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds." And one of those strongholds is Christianity. Right, look at the damage that is done to the earth, and especially to our people. Okay? Islam as well. Judaism, all these other, atheism, all these false religion, all the wide gate philosophies, if you will, especially the Babylonian Jews. But Christianity, when people think of the Bible, they think about Christianity, and that's not how you should be thinking, because Christianity has nothing to do with the Bible. It's a facade. Christianity is a crock of horse shit, man. Alright? That's the reality of that. That's literally the reality of that, man. And the Lord is going to destroy all you wicked, evil pastors, that are teaching madness to our people and feeding them, with bread of deceit. All of these religions, you're going to perish for that, man. You don't understand how serious it is to teach false doctrine. That is a serious, heavy offense. All right, like Yahweh Shai said, it's not that which goeth into a man, but that which coming out, of his mouth. That's what defiles a man. All right, you people are defiled, bro. And I'm not saying that like I'm perfect or I'm some saint, which, I mean, if you're an Israelite, you're a saint. But I'm saying, in the sense of perfect, no, I'm not perfect. All right, but I'm trying, and I make sure I say the right things and I teach the proper doctrine. Okay, because it's very important. You don't want to lead the flock astray. Okay? So just continue to fight this war, continue to battle, continue to teach the proper doctrine, like scriptures say in the book of Sirach, win on out with every win. All right, stay with the doctrine, stay on the right path. All right, continue to wage that battle, man. And first and foremost, it's a battle against ourselves. All right, so Lord, when that this lesson was edifying, before I close, I want to say, call hello, Yahweh Ba'Shem El Shai, Ba'Shem Rachak Wadash, the Apostle, Osgrade Millstone.